Hi guys, how are you doing? Everything's just going wrong with my stuff, so I'm not sure if I'm in focus or what's going on. I have to check it and then hopefully not be spending forever going over it and over it. I'm meant to be watching TV with the other half and stuff, but I wanted to keep my video for you guys because I love doing it. It's usually a Bosch, stick it into the laptop. My EOS lets me remote shoot so I can check on there and see the time and everything. And nothing's working. I've put an update on the EOS, but it's still not working. I don't know what is going on with it. So a bit peed off, really. I mean, I know it's one of my spooky episodes. It's all about weird legends, but you know, there's no reason for it to be doing this to us, is there? Totally bewildered, but hey ho. So anyway, how are you all doing? Hope you're okay. Breathe. If you've been here before, then hi, welcome back. You'll understand my stresses. If you're new here, I am Tanya from Tanya Talks a Lot. If you're a fan of weird, wacky, wonderful things and, you know, you like getting down and watching some weird stuff or learning some myths and legends and stuff, then I suggest you hit the subscribe button and join us on our little weekly weird adventures. So, without further ado, and hopefully it's working, welcome to another episode of Ghost, Myths and Legends. Da-da, da-da, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, so, are you sitting comfortably? Shall we begin? Today's episode takes us to the mysterious East, to Korea in fact, mainly South Korea. Don't want to be... We are looking at their wonderful and strange myths and legends, and a lot of them, to be honest, are darn right creepy. Now, after watching a lot of K-dramas, Sweet Home and Uncanny Counter, watch it if you haven't. They are amazing, and there's some nice eye candy too, but brilliant. The storylines, oh my gosh, they're amazing. Really, really good. But anyway, I've started learning some Korean because I like languages along with my Japanese, but I'm not going to do anyone a discredit or a disservice by trying to pronounce their words at the minute. I'm not that far onto my lesson. So we will start with ghosts. Now, most people have their, you know, their legends and myths and beliefs in ghosts, and Korea is no different. They have four main types of ghost. The virgin ghost, which is what we would see in The Ring, and the Grudge, the white face, the long, dark, wet, bedraggled hair. Then you have the bachelor man, who's the male version of the virgin. There's a water ghost, which is a bit like the water demons and water nymphs and sprites, like Nessie in Scotland, who will lure you to death in the water. And an egg ghost. You might go, an egg ghost. But they have no facial features, and they're the most dangerous of all. They will kill you. It's like Medusa. If you look at them and they look at you, you're instantly dead. They're not very nice ones, apparently. The egg ones, usually though, like the virgin ghosts and things, they're there to either, they can't cross over, they've got unfinished business. So it's either like a loved one or a family thing or a revenge thing. And then, I will say a disclaimer: viewer discretion is advised. Watch this at your own discretion and caution, because there will be some trigger warnings. Another myth is sort of like what they have in Japan, so it's quite a similar sort of cross-cultural legend, is the legend of the slit-faced woman. Now, this is a woman who wears a surgical mask, and it's usually in the night, and she's after children, you know, poor children doing what they've done. But so she wanders the streets at night, and if she comes across children, she asks them, do you think I'm pretty? If they say yes, she takes off her mask. If they say no, she kills them outright. But if they say yes and she takes off her mask, she says, do you still think I'm pretty? If they say no, they are instantly killed. And if afterwards they say yes, she will make them look like her, slit from cheek to cheek with a great big cut slit face. Told you, a lot of their myths are kind of creepy. Another one, bear with for the trigger warning, is the legend of the sesame seed bath. There was once a young girl who was very obsessed with her appearance and nice skin and everything like that, and she went to see a special lady about how could she have really nice soft skin and what could she use and things, and they told her, bath it in a bath of sesame seeds, it'll make your skin beautiful. So excited, she went home, made the bath, poured in the sesame seeds. She'd been in there for ages, her skin was feeling nice, but then she didn't come out, and her mum started getting really worried about her and was like, why are you not coming out, why are you not coming out? Some more time went by, so the mum was like, right, I've had it. She walks into the bathroom to see her daughter desperately picking at the holes that had come all over her skin with a toothpick as the sesame seeds had embedded themselves in all of her pores. So, one thing about the ghosts is, like our ghosts, when they're around, the temperature drops significantly, so you know they're there. There is a story goes that in one apartment block, an old man was in his apartment right at the top, because they're like our system used to be, more richer down the bottom, cheaper up the top. And the temperature dropped, and he heard a knocking outside his door, and he went to answer the door, but they said, close your eyes, count to 100, don't open your eyes before then, or I'll kill you. Something along those lines. He started counting with his eyes shut, and I can't remember, he got to a certain number, and he opened his eyes, and there was a virgin ghost standing before him. I don't know if he was killed or no, but that's just what the story is. Another one of their legends is considered a legend because they believe that it is a true story, and that the person who was the murderer is actually still out there. I'll tell you this legend, and then I'll tell you how freaked out they really are about it. It is said there was a young 19-year-old girl who lived in an apartment block on the 14th floor. She got in the lift, and a handsome man got in with her. He was chatting and asking questions, and he asked her what floor she lived on. She said the 14th. He said, I'm on the 13th floor. It got to his stop, and he got out. And that's when she saw he had a knife in his hand. He looked at her and said, I'll see you soon. She tried to press every button, then obviously freaked out. Nothing worked. And eventually, of course, she got to her stop, the 14th floor, where he was waiting for her, and he brutally murdered her. Now, many believe this is true, and that is why now there are stop buttons in Korean elevators where there weren't before. And many of them believe to this day that it is real, and they will not get in a lift on their own for fear that this handsome man might get in the lift with them and do what he did to that 19-year-old. And obviously not all their myths and legends are creepy and horrible. I mean, they've got the Grim Reaper like we do. Dresses all in black, except he doesn't have a scythe and everything. So, you know, they have goblins. Now, there is a K-drama called Goblin 2, and the man is, you know, is meant to be good looking and everything. I've seen pictures. I prefer Sumon and the guy from Sweet Home, personally. But anyway, so he's meant to be, it translates to the God and lonely something or other, but it doesn't really. They've obviously, like we do, they embellish and change their stories. Goblins really are quite horny little looking things with horns, and to me, well, they look like this. I think they look a bit like sort of the Japanese sort of art, like theatre masks a bit. They're quite mischievous. They're not really horrible. They will play tricks on you, and they will punish those that are naughty, but they do reward the good, and they just get on and live their life. So not everything is all They do like stories of things going in your face and in your body. There was a story of the young man with really bad acne scarring who hated having to face school every day. He again went to see someone who told him that the best thing for acne and acne scarring was cockroach. To take it to bed with him and put it on his pillow. So, dutifully, he went home, put a cockroach on his pillow and went to bed. In the morning, he woke up, looked in the mirror and was absolutely amazed. This thing had worked. He couldn't believe his luck. He was like, whoa. He went to school and he was happy and amazing. His face was smooth, flawless. The whole acne scarring was gone. Filled in, looked amazing. Until later on, his face started to itch and feel funny. And when he took a closer look, he knew why his face looked so perfect and why his skin looked so smooth. Because in every acne scar and every open pore, the cockroach had laid her eggs. Now, obviously there are lots and lots and lots of legends, and we could be here all day. So I've just, like I like to do, picked some of my favourites, but I've picked this one for last. And one of my viewers is a big fan of foxes, so hopefully she's watching this, because they have a legend of a 9-tailed fox. Now, this fox can take on, they've been around, they've lived for like 1,000 years. They live for 1,000 years, and they can take on the appearance of a human, usually a female. And they sort of seduce men, and they eat the flesh of a man, usually their heart or their liver, ripping them open, and like you do. Now, it is some of the legends say that if they can ward off eating humans for 1,000 years, then they can become a human forever. But there was one story that I read, and there was an elderly farming couple. There was a farming couple, and they had sons, and they loved them dearly, but they really wanted a daughter, bitterly wanted a daughter, and they prayed and they wished and they hoped, and they said they wouldn't even care if their daughter was a fox as long as they had a girl. Eventually, not soon after they made their wishes and everything, they had a daughter, and they loved her, and she was wonderful, and they couldn't have been happier. But as she was growing up, things started happening. The animals on the farm started dying and were being killed and eaten. Weird mysteriences started happening. Now, the sons thought, something's a bit not right here. And they figured out it was the sister. Now, the parents, they weren't having any of this. Of course, this was their daughter. They loved her. They waited so long to have a girl. They were being stupid. They were sent out. You're gone. Bye. See ya. Now the boys dutifully left. But not for long, because they just knew that something was going to happen. They couldn't leave like that. So that evening they came back, and they couldn't find their parents anywhere. And they thought, okay, maybe they've gone to bed. Maybe they're, sleeping on it. But when they went upstairs, they found the sister eating the parents. For this side is a flip coin. She had been eating people for 1,000 years to become human. So even that story's got different little spins on it. Personally, I should think if they want to become human, then maybe leaving off the human flesh would make them. But maybe it's the whole, you are what you eat. If I eat humans, I will be a human. Who knows? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our little foray, a little ding-a-ling dip into some of Korea's weird, wonderful and wacky myths and legends. This is a wonderful country with a wealth of culture and technology that they're increasingly advancing in, and their myths and legends are fascinating, if, like I said, somewhat creepy and very into bits going in people. But hey ho, who are we to judge? You know, I think some of their legends are way cool, and I hope for their sakes that Mr. Elevator Killer is long gone. But if you ever find yourself in Korea, maybe you live there now, maybe you're going for a holiday when all this COVID shit's done, make sure you don't travel an elevator on your own, just in case. And remember, they have got stop buttons now, in case you feel the need. Sweet dreams. See you soon. Bye.